Hello, friends, and welcome to Crits&Knits. I had to think for a second about what are we doing tonight.
Where are we? What day is it?
It's Wednesday.
What am I here
It's
for?
Wednesday.
Who are you? Who am I?
Who
Is
knows?
today the day I cried? I don't know.
Does it end in
Yes.
Y? Then
I was
yes.
gonna say, is it a day that ends in Y? Then yes, we all have cried today.
Yeah. Hi, how's everyone going? We're gonna pep this back up, right? We're talking about knitting.
Swear.
Sure.
My knitting hasn't made me cry today.
I don't know. It's been a while. I don't know what happens on here.
I know, we
It's
missed
so
seeing
good to
your
see
face
you back
live.
here.
We've missed you, E.
Yeah.
Thanks. I missed you too. School is getting really
Schooly.
schooly towards the end there. I was like, I
School
feel
is
like I have
getting really-
senioritis, but this is a 10-week class.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've got one more quarter and then I'm done.
Woohoo.
Yay.
We're excited for you.
We're excited for you to be back.
How
too.
often do you have to do this? Is this something for your job, or is this just something you're
No,
doing?
this is a continuing education program that I am taking to hopefully get my foot in the door in the museum industry.
Ah,
Get the hell
okay.
out of retail.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me tell you,
Mhm.
I started the year with maybe 2 gray hairs. I now have 5. Coincidentally, I became a manager at my new job at the beginning of the year. Coincidence?
that's-
I think not.
That's
Yeah.
so cute, E. That's so cute.
Yeah, same.
But the first ones, if you recall, the first ones were very upsetting.
That was so
I'm not
long
upset
ago.
about
I
it.
don't
Like,
know what you're
I
talking
just wish they were
about.
coming in cool, like
Okay.
DBs.
Okay.
I
just
have a patch of white that shows up right here.
Yeah.
Only one patch right here.
So the other thing is they didn't come in as a few, Danny. It feels like I woke up and they were all there.
It's like Storm.
Yeah, that happens. That happens.
Yeah, and I just don't care. So, like, I don't know what happened. Although I do look at older pictures. I'm like, oh, I had like a brown and black beard before my daughter was born. Okay.
Oh, so it's
Your
her
Zoom
fault.
profile
Of course, it's her
picture.
fault. Children
No,
are
I'm-
there to give you gray hairs.
That's just how time works. So
Sure,
I was
let's
also
go with that.
not in my 50s before my daughter was born. So
Okay.
Can't blame children, so what's my excuse?
Cats.
It
Your
wasn't.
coworkers.
Life.
I'll go with
Coworkers,
life.
Children, same difference.
Yeah.
I have knitted some hats. Do you guys want to see the
I would love
hats?
to see your
I
hats.
would love
Okay.
to see the hats.
So, we all know DB is not good at things.
No.
DB is good at things.
Oh shit.
DB doesn't swatch things, so she does gauges, so she's bad at things.
Okay. No,
Um,
it's not that DB's bad at things. It's that DB didn't swatch.
Shh.
Here's the. You know what the problem is? The problem is DB learned how to make a hat from me, and I fucked that up.
Anyway,
I fucked that up a lot.
So, here is the hat that is too small to fit a human head.
I love
But-
it.
Oh no, there are humans with heads that size.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
it could
adult
fit a child.
humans, it doesn't fit, because it has no give, so I have to remake. You guessed.
I love it.
Yes,
It's so
beautiful.
cute.
I'm remaking this. This is for too small, too big.
Hey Greg, it's your new hat.
Oh,
It's so big.
that's 12-foot skeleton hat territory.
This
Okay.
hat was supposed to be
turn
for
it
a
upside-
child.
Deebs,
So yes, Greg is.
what point
Greg
did
is,
you figure this out? Like, how
Um,
far along were you?
I was finished.
Like,
with
I have
it.
no room to throw stones. I've done the same. But
Well, especially with a hat, because if you're doing it on a circular,
Yeah.
it stays
It
small
bunches.
until you're
Yeah.
done, and then you're
found-
like, oh.
I found out. I went, this seems a little big. Oh well, we'll keep going.
Oh well,
Deeps, look, hold that up again, please.
he's gonna tell you to do what I told you.
You're holding it the wrong way. Turn it upside down, and it's a bag. There you go.
Put a
handle on
drawstring
it.
around the
Oh,
top.
the other thing is, do you like how I held it up like it's a fish?
I mean, that's what you
Oh
have
my
to
gosh,
do.
that hurts a fish if you hold it up like that. You have to support it.
Like a baby?
Kind of. I mean,
Like a
Anyway,
living
I mean-
being.
Hold on, there's more.
It's not living anymore when I'm done with it.
Just
I would say, if you're going to
There
release
you
it, you
go.
need to support it. If
It's
you're
the
going to keep it,
Goldilocks.
oh look, that's beautiful.
It's the
Deeds.
Goldilocks.
So this one is just right. So what I'm all of these hats are for one person.
No, they're not. You have
Not
a
anymore.
bag that you could put the hat
The
for
other
them
hats
in,
into.
and then a doll hat for them in as well.
So this one is for a 3-year-old. It's a little big. She'll grow into it.
Yeah.
Children do that.
This is for a 6-year-old.
They might grow into it.
You
Do
know,
they have a lot of hair?
do they
Yeah.
have a lot of
No.
toys? Like I said,
Probably.
drawstring. It's a bag for
but-
all the little toys.
But literally, like,
What
so much.
6-year-old doesn't want a bag?
True.
You know what that is? That's an over hat. So you wear your regular hat, and then you put your over hat on top of it.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
hat
Oh,
or
over
override
headphones.
helmet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Or headphones.
or over headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one gives people headaches.
But the 3-year-old could wear that.
For a while.
Sure.
Or a
but
doll.
I have to remake this one. Cat.
Hello, cat.
I have to remake this
My
one.
friend.
Oh yeah, your bestie.
My bestie, Percy.
He's gonna mess. So you see that? You see that round thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the chat can see it too. That is a rug that's supposed to live in the middle of my floor. This bitch doesn't let me have that rug. Look, at him, just showed his butthole to the world.
Yep.
As they do.
He is a cat.
Percy, I haven't seen you all day. Okay, goodbye. Whatever. Hi. Anyway,
You have hats.
so I have kind of hats, and I am starting the gray one again
All
with
right.
the little things that E gave me.
Yay!
Hey.
Yeah.
From Joanne's. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Joanne's.
Rest in pieces.
Yeah. I am working on another one. I need to get that done before the 10th. Yeah. Because that's
You know, the
when
nice thing about the 10th
Shut.
is it happens every month.
Greg. Specifically,
He is correct.
this person is going to be in the area so I can give her the hats and she can give me my Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, that's an important
Oh.
exchange.
You're
Yeah.
trading for drugs. Got it.
No. I'm trading for
Drug
cash
bag.
and
Back for
drugs.
drugs.
I'm getting money for these as well because she was like, I know it takes forever to do things like this, and I was like,
Especially if I do it twice.
Or 3
Price
times.
even.
listen.
Sorry, that was out
we've-
loud.
we've
Normally
done
those starts don't normally say in my head. They always come out.
You're
I was
right.
gonna say.
Anyway, I will let somebody else talk because I can't take up the whole show and not let other people do the things.
Oh, we
Why
got
not?
plenty of time. I've done that
can I go
before.
next?
No. We don't have plenty of time. Red and I have to boop.
Oh,
That's true. We have other thing that we are doing tonight.
Other thing.
well, it sounds
I
like
wanna-
Greg is ready. What
I
you
do
got?
because I have a hat,
Oh,
but it's too small. But if I turn it upside down and put a drawstring in it, it's a bag, and it's a colorwork bag.
Amazing.
I'm waiting for her to flip you off.
I already did it.
Mom.
What's the
Oh, sorry. Hi, Danny's mom.
Daddy's mom.
what's the design on that?
So it's just
Candy, isn't it?
it is. It's called a candy
Nice.
bag. They're like little candies.
Well, then that's even better because you can carry candy around in it.
I sure can.
Or
And
math
it
rocks.
is, or yeah,
The click clack
or swag from my other podcast, which is
Heck
what I
yeah.
did when I went to the Carolina Fiber Fest. I filled it up with stitch markers and cases that stitch markers live in and things like that. This was the design for the Carolina Fiber Fest, the knit along design for the Carolina Fiber Fest this year, which I went to 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago.
Was it fun?
Yes, it was. There were a lot of people. but it was fun anyway.
Oh, that's not Saf. That's something else.
No, it's not Saf. It's a
Sorry.
smaller. It's similar but smaller.
I am a sleepy girl. I kind of want to go back to Saf someday.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love you to come back to Saf someday. We could have so much fun. I could drive you around by the graveyard and tell you that nobody living in this town can be buried in this graveyard. And you can ask why. And I could say, because they're all alive. And it would be bad to bury living people.
I'm gonna bury this living person.
And
Jesus
then
Christ!
I will take you on a picnic to that same graveyard.
Where I bury Greg, the live person.
And we sit on top of the new grave and eat lunch there.
There we go. It'll be a whole
Sounds
party.
like fun. It was like fun.
Oh,
So yes, Carolina Firefest was fun. Saw lots of people.
Good.
I got another little button pin thing for doing the craft along. So that was fine. And then I was also working on socks, which I finished. These are my multi-pass socks.
Multi-pass.
Multi-pass. And this is a Nerd Girl yarn, a dyer who quit dyeing like 10 years ago. And but I had some in my stash still, and I love her yarn because it's all geeky. It's multi-pass, like the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
She's got Doctor Who stuff. She's got Firefly stuff. Oh, I miss Firefly. And all of that good stuff. But I finished those this weekend, I think, when we went to an Irish dance competition, and so I'm currently working on another hat. I will show what it looks like. It is a state hat, and so it's like red, and it's got an outline of the state of North Carolina on it.
Oh,
And it's
cool.
it's really cool. It's from Stunning String Studio. The designer, her name is Cindy, and I do not remember her last name. She was at Carolina Fiber Fest, which is where I got this kit from, and she has hats for almost all the states. There's about 8 states maybe that she doesn't have yet that she's designed. And so that was pretty cool. So I got the North Carolina one because that's where I live, and I started knitting on it, and I've got a little tiny bit. This is like the southeast corner of the state.
nice.
But so I'm working so huge long floats because lots of red on it and everything, and I'm using the ladder back card technique for it, and I'm about 4 rounds up, and I've realized that was a really dumb thing to do with these super long floats. I love the ladder back card because it hides a lot easier behind the work, but with these super long floats, they're not anchored at all. So all of my color work, it's anchored where
The color work is.
where I have actual color work, but where I don't have color work, it's not anchored to anything. And so I've got
You're gonna have
like
to
a stretch
go
of
back
30,
and
tack it down.
Tack it down.
Yeah, I go back and tack it down because like you can see, like maybe you can see the little blips of the gray
Yeah.
in the red there. That's where the ladders are. But it's like a bunch of them without actual gray in there, and I'm only about 4 rounds up. I might just rip it all back to the bottom of the color work, and I still want to do the ladder back to card, but tack it the first time, tack it down like the way I used to do stranded color work, where I wrap it around it, but then I could do the ladder backs
The rest of
next
the way.
round. Yeah, I don't know. I just discovered this last night when I was knitting on it in bed, and I was like, I'm gonna have to think about this.
So I've never done the ladder back jacquard, so I don't know how
Yeah.
it starts, but can you start it with the red? Like, can you create the stitch that's going to be the ladder, like the round before, with the red, and then just start laddering it with the gray?
Yes, Danny. This is why
we talk about stuff.
Right. This is why we talk, because that's exactly what I thought last night. I was like, this is not going to work. I'm only 3 or 4 rounds up. I won't mind ripping it back again because this would be the second time I ripped it back. If I come up with a better way to do it, because I didn't want to tack it down because that's going to end up being visible no matter how I do it. But yeah, so the way you start a ladder for the ladder back stuff is you just do a backwards loop
Oh, okay.
in your thing on it. So it's not attached to the
Anything.
piece at that point, but if you were actually doing like not having a 30 stitch
Right.
stretch, it would have been tacked otherwise. So I could do the backward loop in red, but then when you hit it the next time around, you just purl into it. So it's
Right.
basically like double knit.
Okay.
You pull your other thing in front of it, purl, and then put it back, and
Yeah.
you go. So it's the same technique you use for double knitting.
Okay. So yeah, then you can have, and that'll make it even less visible than if you were doing a wrap.
Perfect. Yes.
That's why we have discussions.
Yes.
Look at
Thank you.
that.
You
Yay!
you saved me. So that is my knitting. I have one other thing that I'm super excited about because bonuses got paid out at work, and I bought a 3D printer, which had been on
Nice.
my wish list for years. And today, this came off of
Ooh.
the print, and it is a little a collapsible
Collapsible
dice tower.
I love it.
And it's got so I can put this on here to catch your dice and everything.
So
And
you're gonna make each of us one of those, right?
yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Or at
You can
least link us
absolutely
to
do
the
that.
Yeah,
the
at least
file.
link us to the
Yeah.
STL.
Yeah.
I,
Like
I,
half
I
of us
don't
can make our own,
I
but
don't have a 3D printer. I'm gonna make cute eyes and beg.
yes, absolutely. Yes, because that's one of the things I did before I got the printer was I was looking at all of the
All the
towers
stuff.
and stuff you can make. So I also unlocked an achievement while printing this one. I ran out of filament mid-print, so purple to black.
But hey,
It
it
almost
worked.
looks intentional
I thought it was
Yeah.
here.
intentional. It looks good.
It's a little not intentional on this one, but
Eh.
close enough. It's fine. And so yes, so I'm actually gonna give this one to Blueberry, and she can take it to school if she wants. If it gets
Nice.
messed up, it doesn't matter.
It's a 3D print.
And
It's
next thing you know,
exactly. I
you're
mean,
going to be
it's
3D printing ones that you decorate, like the one that I've got. Did I show you
right.
guys that?
Yours is so pretty.
I don't know if you showed it on this stream or not, but I have seen it.
Well, you're talking about stuff. I'm going to grab it because it's just out of
Okay,
reach.
sounds good. So I'm gonna quit because it's probably making noise trying to collapse it again. I'm gonna quit trying to collapse it. But it was so much fun. It's just some I could see how many grams of filament it took, and I think it was like a long print. It was 12 hours or something like that for all the pieces or whatnot. So but yeah, it was so much fun. So that's like the biggest one I've done so far. I've got a dragon on the printer now, but I haven't been
Ooh.
downstairs to pick it up yet.
Nice.
I also printed some earrings because we had the dance competition this weekend, so I printed some shamrock earrings
Oh, fun.
and had some little like the loopy or the hooks
Mm-hmm.
because they're dangly earrings, and put them together and gave one to a pair to my wife, a pair to the other mom who came with us, and then I had half a pair because I only have the one hole, and so I so we all wore shamrock earrings for Irish
Nice.
dancing this weekend. Good times. That's my stuff.
Love that. Anyone else want to go next, or you want me to show the
I
dice
want to see your
tower?
thing.
Show
me
the
your
dice
thing.
tower. Oh, it's bigger than I
Eee.
thought.
Yeah, it's very substantial,
It's a dice village.
Massive.
It's not a dice tower. It's a dice village.
and it's like textured. Like this is all. I cut a gajillion pieces of embroidery floss and
Oh,
glued it
amazing.
on for the texture of the straw, and then this is a weird resiny type of liquid in the bottom to make it look like water and shiny, and I did like the flocking for the grass, and there are little bushes, and it took, God, when did we start on these, DB? Like 2 years ago? I think we
I
started
don't
on them 2 years
remember.
ago on
We
That's Pretty
were-
Crafty.
We were in Georgia
Yeah.
because Star glued mine together before we actually started because I was in the middle of something.
Yeah, because this is a chunky boy. So it's the base is 3 pieces, and then the tower was separate. And I want to say this, it was like 5 or 6 pieces total that I had to print and glue together. But you can see the seams on the bottom. But I
That's so
finally
cool.
Nice.
finished printing
I
the
like it.
whole thing. I've got it covered in a nice matte cover top coat
Finish?
sealant. Yes. And the first thing I rolled was a 1. So
Well, you got it out of the way immediately.
exactly. But that was, gosh, this was a project. But
Yeah.
I'm very, very happy with it.
I have
You
to
should
finish
be.
mine now. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that
so
I
I
finished
haven't
that, I
started
wanna print
thinking
another.
about. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Danny. What was that?
Now that I finished that one, I want to print another.
Absolutely.
Of
You
course.
should. You should.
That's the rule.
Well, it was a Kickstarter that I backed, and there are like 20 different dice towers,
Oh, geez.
and they're all different themes. Like this one is the lighthouse, and there's like futuristic themed ones, and I think there's even a dragon. I'm like, yep.
Yep. Yeah. So painting what I print is on my list at some point. It's not in my near term future right now. I'm just happy to print stuff. But like as I was printing this one out, because I only had a few colors of filament, I thought purple will be fine, and because that was what was loaded. Really.
Right.
And then once it ran out, I
Like
was like,
a
okay,
number of
good. I can
times.
finally load my black now. But yeah, eventually I'll want to paint some stuff. So anyway, that's my
Printing stuff and
craftiness.
printing stuff and painting stuff are two different hobbies.
They are.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Just like acquiring yarn and using yarn are two different hobbies.
Yeah. But sometimes you do both.
I have done both.
You have? Do tell.
A lovely ex-coworker of mine went on a trip to Peru
Ooh.
and brought me back some beautiful Peruvian wool.
Indecita.
It is baby alpaca. and it's very
Incredible.
nice.
I think I've used that stuff before.
Hello, Kitty.
That it looks so soft.
It is very soft. I'm gonna save it for something special for myself.
Oh, that's the
as
way
you
to do it.
should.
Something for yourself. Definitely.
Yes, I have so many sock yarns right now. But I am like just now healed enough to like really knit. I had a tear in my tendon on my elbow, so I was kind of out of commission for a while. I also have acquired a project through the Loose Ends project. I acquired a sweater in pieces, and the pattern that was included with the sweater was not the pattern for the sweater. So luckily there's a lovely and welcoming Facebook group for all the Loose Ends project finishers. And I said, Hail Mary, anybody recognize this sweater pattern? And almost immediately 2 or 3 people were like, oh yeah, I've done that a bunch of times. It's this one. And somebody kindly sent me the scans of the booklet. And so now I have the correct pattern and I am working on this. This is a front panel of a cardigan. This is the last stitch that Grandma Edna did.
Aw.
And I put in a rescue line because it's important. And so I've done 1 full repeat of the pattern.
Nice.
And it was slow going at first because I did a gauge swatch, but apparently that wasn't right. So I had to pull back and start
See,
over.
even when you do a gauge swatch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
why don't you go into a little bit about what Loose Ends is? Because
Oh,
like we all know, but
so
maybe
the
you
Loose
don't
Ends
know.
project matches up folks who have a family member who passed away with a project unfinished, and it matches them up with a finisher, usually a local finisher, sometimes, given people's different skill levels, you might have to ship it and stuff. But the person from whom I acquired the sweater was the original finisher for the sweater, but due to life was unable to continue with it. And so then it came to me, and the actual owner of the project lives actually closer to me than the other finisher anyway, so I think it'll work out great. The family member has been very patient, as the other finisher had it for a couple of years, and wasn't able to get as far as she would have liked. So I'm taking it the final mile here.
You're helping release the ghost.
Yes. It came with both sleeves finished, a full back, half of a back, and two what turned out to be partial front panels for the cardigan. So it looked to me like Grandma Edna had been doing both front panels at the same time, but I didn't want to do that in case I messed something up, and then I would have to unknit two things at once. So I slid one off onto a stitch holder and moved forward with just one. She also added pockets that were not part of the pattern. So that'll be interesting, because I will have to find out how to finish a pocket, because it's just open right now. But that'll be fine. There's also some damage to it, and I asked the family member if she wanted it mended invisibly, like nothing ever happened to it, or if she wanted a visible mending. And she's like, oh, I think the visible mending would be cool. And I gave her some yarn options of 100% wool yarn that I had, because this is just old 100% wool with a very, very 60s label. And I laid out some colors, and she picked one that is beige in real life. She's like, oh, I like the pink one. And I was like, oh shit, it's not pink in real life, and the beige is just gonna look dirty. Because this is an off-white, not a white. So I had to scour the local yarn shops for 100% wool, light worsted yarn in a light pink that looks like how the beige looked in the picture. But I found it. It's purchased. It's wound. It's waiting. So I'm much less stressed about it than I was initially.
Good.
Yeah. And I just got to say how impressed I am about how many extra miles you are going to make this right. It's awesome.
She's waited so long already. It better be right.
Yeah,
but also it's not your fault that she's been waiting this long. So you taking up that burden is very kind of you.
It just took a hot minute for the sweater to find the right finisher.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh, and I 3D printed a thing too.
Daddy's so proud of you.
I printed a thing. It's a little thing that goes on my Clover counter, so it doesn't get accidentally pressed in the bag.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
I need to know where you got that file, because
Drop it in the brand new 3D printing file on the Discord.
All right. Yes, we do have a channel for that now on Discord. So if you're into this 3D printing stuff, we're chatting about it. All right. Ren, do you want to talk, or do you want me to go?
So I have two things I want to talk about. One is mine and one isn't, but it's very cool and I want to talk about it anyway.
Okay.
And one I have in my lap, and the other I may never be allowed to touch again, and that's okay.
Okay.
All right, so first up, mine. Still working on Baby Blanket.
Baby Blanket is growing up.
It's getting big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can definitely see on camera where the change is, but because of how I chose to incorporate it in, no one who doesn't know knows. that
There
it
we
was
go.
accidental, and that's all I could ask for.
Yep.
My my sister and her family are going to be here in a couple of weeks, and so I want to get this to a finishing point so I can give it to the child that it will belong to and get it the fuck off my needles. Um, the other thing that isn't mine, but I want to talk about anyway. I'm part of a medieval reenactment society called the Society for Creative Anachronisms. I've talked about it before. It is just, one of those things that I disappear and do every once in a while. This weekend was Crown Tournament, where we had a big tournament to determine who the next king and queen will be. They'll be elevated at Beltane, which is the first weekend of May. And also there, a friend of mine got elevated to the rank of Laurel. In the SCA, this is effectively someone who is, we all know what knights are. The fighting and the teaching and chess playing and all the shit that knights do. That was actually once a thing that knights in the SCA had to learn how to do. And I'm kind of sad that's not really the case anymore. They had to learn how to dance and they had to learn how to play chess. Yeah, it's one of those things that used to be a thing. Laurels are that, but for the arts and sciences. They are that level with recreating the arts and sciences of some variety in the medieval space. My friend Alistair of Avalon just got hers for weaving. And
Wow.
Oh.
yeah, and the stuff that she has made is incredible. I heard like the rundown of it when we were in court as she was getting elevated. But what she made for her step up, she made silk velvet.
Holy crap.
She wove silk velvet and then turned it into a cape, a little capelet.
Wow.
Oh.
And that was the most pettable piece of fabric I have ever seen in my life. We actually had bets going in camp for how many times the king and queen would pet it during the ceremony. I had my bet on 3 because I thought that it would be the queen, the king, the queen again. There were like 3 or 4 more because they realized how soft it was. It's beautiful. There's pictures around somewhere. I will drop a picture into the Discord when I obtain that. But I just want to make sure to give word fame to my friend Alistair of Avalon for this incredible piece of work that she did, because she was practicing with cotton, she was practicing with linen, she was practicing to like get it right before buying the $400 worth of materials to weave silk thread into velvet.
Wow.
There was apparently her and her wife's house is covered in a fine layer of red bits.
Oh
I can see
shit.
that. Yep.
Fluff.
All of the fluff. Yeah, no. A friend of theirs came up to see the elevation, and they were like, "Well, bros, you have a clean bedroom and you have a clean bathroom, and that's all we can promise." There might be like little bits of silk in food if you're not careful, but incredible work, beautiful. I cannot praise her highly enough.
Fantastic. That just sounds so
that's
cool.
all. Right? Like, my friends make cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that just makes me happy because it's like, the SCA can certainly be a lot, as with any group of opinionated people. I was pointing out that, you throw a stick and you'll hit a neurodivergent person in the society, because we're all the people who do the deep dives into the medieval lore and whatever. And it's just fun to be able to see what people do the deep dives into, because like there have definitely been times where I've heard where like my Laurel or my apprentice brother go on about some music thing that has my eyes glazing over. Where it's like, I understood about 3 and 5 words that you said there,
That happens.
but they weren't in the right order.
Very cool.
Danny, before you talk about your stuff,
Yes.
I want to share I had a realization about my ladderback jacquard and tacking it down. It won't work if I use the red.
No?
Because then I wouldn't be carrying the gray, and I need to carry it halfway around the hat in order to
But couldn't you do
I
that?
don't know, maybe I could
Do it the
the
round
red
before you start the gray.
and then immediately.
And
yeah,
then
I could
as
do
you-
it and then okay.
Yeah.
This is why we get together and talk. Thank you. It's like y'all are my rubber duck. So
Yep.
Yep. But we talk
thanks.
back.
Yeah.
The real
Not
So does my
reason
rubber
It's
duck.
not always healthy, but
Yeah.
the real reason why wizards have familiars to explain a spell to a little weasel on your
100%.
hand until you go, oh, that's why it's not working.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I have a bunch of things I actually can't show because I have signed up for some test knits.
Her voice cracked as she said that.
I am currently, so I signed up for one a couple weeks ago, and for that one I'm using this yarn, and you can see 2 strings coming from it because it is a child's sweater, and I'm on the sleeves, and so I'm doing the sleeves 2 at a time right now. So I've got both yarns are working yarns. And gosh, this yarn, I can't remember what this is. It's a Cloudborn. Oh, wait, I put it in my Ravelry projects because I do that. It is Cloudborn Fibers Highland Fingering. So it's a fingering weight, and it's going to be a size 2T sweater. And this one is actually turning out 2T, unlike the last 2T that I did that turned into like a 4T because I didn't swatch. This one is turning out the size it's supposed to be, which is good. But that one is due at the end of the month, so I've got a couple more days to do it. And then I signed up for one that I can't even talk about in a lot of detail because everything about this project is secret. But I signed up for 2 different parts of this project. But I'm going to be using this yarn, which is Deep Stash. This is Knitting Rose Yarns. Knitting Rose Yarns doesn't die anymore. But this is Gradient sock yarn.
Love gradient
And
sock yarn.
it's all ready for me to do 2 at a time, which is the way I like to do it. So I will be doing 2 at a time with these. Well, okay, it is a pair of socks that I'll be testing.
I was going to say, you just told us it's socks.
Yeah, it's going to be socks. But I'm not going to tell you who the designer is or any of the details, just that I'm very excited about it, and I have the opportunity to test for her again, and I'm very excited about that. And then I was on Reddit.
Oh, no.
I was on Reddit, and they have a pattern testing subreddit, because of course they do. And
course they
so I'm going to be using this stuff, which is left over from the axolotl that I made. And I don't know how secret it is, because the test technically started 2 days ago and ends tomorrow. So I'm going to be crocheting this stuffy tonight. Well, but I did the axolotl in like 2 hours, so...
Yeah.
We're all thinking the same thing, right?
So
Yes.
No, here's what's going to happen. We're going to be done with the knitting part of it, and then we're going to have a pre-recorded interlude, and the test will be done by the time the pre-recorded interlude is done.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that fast. But I am hoping to get it done tonight. Well, but it's a test knit, so it could be a pattern that makes me throw things and takes like 6 hours instead of the 2 or 3 that it should. We'll find out. I have the pattern. I barely glanced over it. We'll see. But I'm excited.
You'll find all of its fun little quirks.
Yes. But then I do have something that I can show you, and it's the dentist blanket, which I ripped out and started again because it was not going to be long enough because it was going to be too wide, so I made it less wide. But I am loving how this is turning out so far.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this a rip out since the last time you and I talked, or a rip out? Okay.
Rip out since the last time I showed it on stream here.
Because I was about to say, damn, Danny, you ripped it out and got further? Fuck.
No, I ripped out... When I last talked about it on That's Pretty Crafty, I was about here. So I've gone almost double. I'm about halfway through the colored yarn, And I'm about to run out of the first 2 balls of the cream color, but I've got more. So I will be winding that up. But this is the blanket that is using the Painting Bricks pattern by Stephen West, because my dentist loves Stephen West.
I am so glad that because the moment I saw the blanket, why do we build the wall from Hadestown immediately popped into my head.
Yeah,
and I was feeling a little bad about that.
Nope.
And then you said that it's a brick. I was like, okay, I feel so much better.
No, that is exactly what you're supposed to get from it. It is the Painting Bricks pattern by Stephen West. And because my dentist is a big fan of Stephen West. So Swants. What's the Swants guy up to these days? Lots of things, man. Lots of things. So yeah, that's I've got a test knit to finish, one to start and finish, and another one to start, and I think I've got another 2 weeks to finish it. So by the next time we talk, I'll have a couple of things hopefully that I can share. Well, it depends on when the designers say that I can start sharing stuff.
Right.
One set is not going to be for a couple months because of it. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, there's a schedule.
There's a schedule.
It's embargoed until the schedule says it's not.
There you go.
Once the schedule says I can show it, I will show it. I will have lovely finished object photos. I will have them all blocked and beautiful. But until then, you can just imagine it, and you can see the pretty yarn. So
it's beautiful.
And yeah, gosh, I can't even remember. I feel like I got this at an Into the Wool, which the last one I went to was 6 years ago. So this yarn is probably a decade old, because it was one of the first ones, I think, that I got this.
Damn.
It's fine. Yarn doesn't
These
go
were
bad.
decade old.
Yep. It's been kept safe in a plastic bag, and I don't feel bad about the plastic bags that I'm putting my yarn in because they're recycled. I got so many bags from work. The old optical shop was cleaning out cupboards, and when you get contact lenses shipped, they come in plastic bags. And the optical shop had just stockpiled all the plastic bags for years until they had like 3 big drawers overflowing and couldn't close the drawers anymore, and said, we probably don't need this many bags. Yeah. We're just going to throw them out. And I said, no. Because they're not like gallon Ziploc size. They're a little bit narrower. So like they're perfect for 2 skeins of sock yarn. Or really anything. 2 skeins. Because they're the right height, but they're not super wide. So I'm like, well, I will take all of those off your hands so you don't just dump them in a landfill. So I've got a lot of bags. If anyone needs some bags, just hit me up. I'll send them to you. Yeah.
I have a bag.
You do have a bag.
Deebs has a bag.
I still think it would be a great little bag.
Sideways glare.
It's so cute. It would be a great little bag.
It really would. You don't even have to drawstring it. You could strap it.
Yep.
Make a strap that goes from one end to the other and weave it, and just put the strap on.
Good job.
Yep.
We got there in the end.
So glad that I didn't have to say anything.
Nope.
Greg just kept
going.
Digging that hole.
That's what it's for.
He did come in originally as a bard.
Yep. Yep. What else? Don't forget to play bingo with us. The bingo card is still available in the 2025 bingo channel. We've got lots of people who are updating stuff. I don't think anyone's had a bingo yet, or if they have, they haven't posted it. I really need to post mine.
I need to post mine too.
Stuff. We should aim to do that this week or next when we're dark so that
Oh,
we got something for people to look at.
we could also put that on our Instagram. Just each
Instagram.
person's put their name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then it's not just projects, but then we could be like, do you want to play bingo
Play
with us? Here's a blank one, but here's how the team members are doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have good ideas. It's
That you
not
do.
very often.
Again, that's why we talk. 'cause-
Bullshit on that last part.
Yeah. You have many good ideas.
God damn it, why are my friends so supportive?
Because we love you and we want you to love yourself.
And
I
you're
may be
awesome.
self-deprecative.
No.
Ah.
No,
I don't let people
we're
say
the
mean-
only ones. We're the only ones who are allowed to pick on you.
I don't let people say actual mean things about my friends.
Yeah.
Right. And I kid because I love. If I don't pick on you, it's probably because I don't like you very much.
Pooch is the same way over on QNC. If they're not picking on you, they probably don't like you very much.
Yeah. That's always a worry of mine. Are you picking on me because you like me or because you don't? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, Danny, do you ever think that with me?
Oh no, I know you like me.
Okay.
I don't either. I know you don't like me, so it's
Oh,
No, you love him.
Whoa.
you're besties.
Best frenemies.
Oh. Well, on that note, does anyone else have stuff they want to talk about or other things?
In 2 weeks, I'll be in a better mood, I promise.
I mean, you were
Aw.
You don't have to be.
Danny's mom is so nice.
I would like to be. How about that?
Okay, there we go.
Aww.
I would
See,
like to
my
feel...
mom doesn't pick on us. My mom just loves on us.
Aww.
Because she's right. You are all very awesome.
For anyone who might be watching this later, Danny's mom said, "I love seeing all of your projects. You are all so talented, and I'm so inspired by you all, and you make me laugh every time I see you. Heart, heart, thank you for sharing."
Oh, Danny's mom.
Heart, heart, right back at you, Danny's mom.
Heart, heart, yes.
Yeah.
Greg, do the thing.
Hearts for Danny's mom.
Aww. Well, if that's about everything, we are going to take a brief break, probably about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to be back with Owen's epilogue.
Ooh.
I can't wait to share it with everyone so that you can
have
see
so much
what Owen's
excite.
up to.
I haven't listened to any of the epilogues yet, so...
That's
There
'cause
aren't any to listen to,
I
babe.
They haven't been
I think this is the
available
first
to
one.
us.
First
I
one?
have intentionally kept them from everyone so that
Okay, but this is the first
This is
one.
the
Like
first.
we
This is
haven't
the
had...
first.
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
we've had our
listen.
interludes, and now this is the epilogues. So this is
Right.
the first of 4 epilogues that will wrap up campaign 1.
And Lady Bedivere gets mad at me for Redacted Reports naming conventions.
Oh yeah, no, I learned
Epilogues
from you,
and
friend.
interludes and
I absolutely learned and stole from you.
preludes and nocturnes and yeah, okay, fair enough.
All right, we'll be back in a few.
Goodbye.
Welcome to one of our little wrap-up episodes of Crits and Knits. And today we're going to be talking about Owen and what he's been doing since the last little bit of our group adventure. So, E, why don't you start by telling us what is Owen up to?
So Owen's feeling a little weird because all of a sudden Raz is being a teacher at this school and is not coming back to Pennycross with him. And while they've not spent their entire lives together and have, been apart for years at a time, Raz has become a staple in Owen's senior years. So things feel weird. It's not a real loss because Raz isn't dead. But when you're old, things can be weird like that. Can be weird like that at any age, I suppose. So he's gonna head back to Pennycross for some stability. So he once everything's all said and done on Magrona, he's gonna get on the ferry back to Selva, take the transporters network back to Glimmerhold, and then take Cappuccino the horse back to Pennycross. His first port of call is going to be his own house to shed all of the armor because that does not get any lighter with age.
It does not, and I'm sure that he's going to enjoy spending the evening and night in his own bed with his own pillow and his own comfy blankets. All of those things that you really appreciate a lot more as you age.
Yeah. Or even just after some time on the road.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I can get this pillow just the way I like it.
Yep. Is there anything special about Owen's sort of nightly routine that he has missed since not having all the comforts of home?
He neglected to bring his book with him. He's been working his way through a novelization of the famous play Fantastic Beeps and Where to Peep Them. It's about the mysterious beep bird.
Okay. All right. So now he's got his nighttime reading back.
Yep.
Excellent. So you get a fairly good night's sleep. It's a little bit weird being back in your own bed, but not in a bad way. Do you make your own breakfast?
Yes. Owen's gonna whip up some oatmeal. He's an oatmeal guy. And just kind of enjoy not having to listen to other people's mouth sounds for a little bit.
All right. So after a nice quiet bowl of oatmeal on your own, it's getting to be, well, mid-morning, which is not particularly late, but you're in a retirement community. You hear the sounds of everyone doing stuff outside. And as you walk outside, you get to the courtyard, and that statue is still there. But this face is familiar now.
Yeah.
And it is the headmaster, not the other guy.
The bad guy.
The bad
Yeah.
guy. So it's a little less offensive. And you notice that there are still several people with their easels, and there's some who are working with paints now, some who are still working with charcoal. There is one of the little half-elves is propped up, standing on this kind of short little step ladder, and has somehow managed to get a big chunk of stone and is trying to make sort of a miniature version of this giant statue. If you get a little bit closer and take a look, it's not a very good replica. But you know what? He's trying and seems to be enjoying himself with his little hammer and chisel, just knocking away at it. The face, you can tell he's been working on it for a while because the head is looking much smaller than it really should in proportion to everything else. But there's definitely art happening in the city center there. Where do you head next?
Owen's gonna head to the remnants of the Golden Frog to see how restoration is going.
That's right, because Nelitha's girlfriend did manage to set the whole thing on fire. Oops. As you walk up, it's a fairly bustling place. There are far more people than you would have expected there. There's a whole crew working outside, and it looks like the windows have been removed, and a good chunk of the siding has been removed, and it looks like they're working on replacing that right now. And as you get a little bit closer, you see Agnatha Harper walking out onto the front porch, standing there, arms crossed, just sort of observing everything. And she turns her head a little bit and spots you, gives a little nod.
Owen gives her the sup and makes his way over.
Hi.
Agnatha, it's been a minute.
Yes, it's been a bit. You're back now, I see.
Yep, in one piece mostly.
Excellent, excellent. I can't recall what you young folk were off doing. Something about a dragon? No, you came back after the dragon.
It turned into a whole thing. There was a necromancer. There was an evil wizard at a school who turned out to not be evil after all. It was actually that guy.
Interesting.
Good fellow.
Is he now?
Headmaster Idor Iridium.
Iridium, hey? I knew an Iridium back in the day.
Perhaps a relation.
Could be. Interesting. I never did put much stock in those necromancers. They always were getting up to things and starting those wars. There wasn't another one of those, was there? I know we're kind of isolated.
Almost.
Oh.
Almost. It was averted.
Well, good job then. Good job. I didn't want a third one. That would have been quite a lot.
Can't take all the credit, but thank you.
So, you're back in town now. Anyone left to adventure to do things for? Or you back here for a bit?
I'm going to stay here for a while. Retire, as it were.
Excellent. Good choice.
Although I must say I'm feeling remarkably more limber than I was before.
Perhaps
maybe
you might put some of that agility to good use. You were used to swinging a sword. You might consider swinging a hammer now.
Oh, I'm rubbish with tools. I'm more of a destroyer than a builder.
How about
which is why I'm so slow at knitting. That I can do. That's difficult to mess up.
Well.
Oh, speaking of knitting, I finished the hat. It
let's
yep,
see it on.
I
Put
got
it
the
on.
cables. I
Fantastic.
still ended up with all the baubles on one side. I will call it art.
You know, there's nothing wrong with making art when you're knitting. That's knitting is art, you know?
Yes. Fiber art.
Exactly. And I will say that we were all quite relieved that we were able to save that good stuff that you brought back down from the mountain when everything
Oh yes.
went up here. So
Good.
I've been working on a sweater for myself.
Very nice.
Eventually,
All
I'll
over
finish.
Cardi.
Oh, Cardi, of course. We got it's my shoulders are getting to that age where
Right.
pulling it over my head is just the range of motion's not what it used to be.
Well, maybe there's something to be done about that. Have you tried any physical therapy?
Well, there's no one really around here. We got the herbalist and the potions, but
I mean, better living through alchemy, but
yes.
has anyone ever put together an adult beginners combat for seniors class or club?
Combat for seniors. That's I was gonna say that there's not a lot of call for combat for seniors, but honestly, the way things have gone around here the last few weeks, with the dragon and all those undead, and
Yeah.
did you know that there are kobolds in town now? They seem nice though. We're not supposed to hit them.
Yes,
Gerald is a little
I
bit iffy
did.
with them, but
Well, yeah. Yes, I did know about that.
okay. They're with you all. Yes, they seem to be friendly with
me
Herder.
more than most others, but yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, they seem to be helpful little things. They're busy over with Herder and helping him with his ale and whatnot.
Oh, good, he did make it back.
Oh yeah, he's doing great. He and that little library lady of his, they're having a good old time. Everyone hears about it, and hears it sometimes.
Oh.
You want to stay inside after dark.
Oh.
It's
okay. I'll just stay on this side of town, I guess. Goodness.
But yeah.
Oh God, are the bagpipes involved? No, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
No, not usually.
Goodness. Usually, okay. No. Ending this conversation.
But no, you're
good. I'm glad things are well. I'm glad the kobolds are not causing too much trouble.
No, they're kind of cute. That Mayo Sue, she's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
That moisturizer thing she's got going on with the mayonnaise, I don't know that it's doing her any good, but she seems happy with it. So
she seems happy. She's not really harming others.
No,
apart from maybe the rancid mayonnaise smell every once in a while, but then we just dunk her in a.
She seems to like the bath too, so.
Yeah, maybe we can get her on to bubble bath, Sue.
Oh yeah, that might make things.
Although nobody wants a pruny kobold. We'll think of something.
We'll come up with a plan. Yeah, we got your mind back in town, so one more in the mix can't hurt with coming up for ideas, right?
Yeah.
Right. Wait, you said something about a combat.
Yes. Now that I've thought about it, how about perhaps once a week, with your permission, of course, at the Golden Frog, I could host a combat for seniors class.
Interesting.
No real swords, wooden swords, practice swords.
All right. Yeah.
Knit covers for swords.
I would love to make some sword cozies.
Yeah,
I got a pattern that I could probably adapt to that. One of my ex-husbands. Anyway, you don't need to know that story.
No, I do not.
But no, I could whip up some sword cozies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you think you
All
could
right.
teach
Well,
some of
first
us
we
old
have to get the
folks.
golden frog put back together.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're about, I'd say about halfway there. But the inside, come on in. The inside's about done. And she'll lead you inside, and you can see that the bar area has been totally replaced. And now, instead of a wooden bar, it's actually a stone stone topper. The tables are still wood, but the bar itself is a very nicely sort of carved granite. And you actually see a couple of the kobolds scurrying around, and they're jumping up on top of each other's shoulders to put away some of the new liquors that are
Oh.
being uncrated. And Yatha sort of waves at them. All right, thank you, folks. Once you're done with that, you can head on back to Herder, and you let him know that we're still on for that discussion about me maybe stocking some of his stout, and we'll see.
Oh, is the competition over? Since
Well, we just have different specialties, and
the town is big enough for the two of you.
it's just he's far enough away that it's uncomfortable for my hip to walk that far. So if we can do a bit of a barter, I'll send the kobolds with some of the good stuff and get them to bring back a tankard or two of his ale, and I enjoy a good ale or two now and then, and he seems to be having some good stuff lately. But yeah, you can see we've got the new bar set up, and we got the nice little knitting nook. It's not so much a nook, and she takes you through the door at the side of the bar, and the little room that they had sat in before to knit, that wasn't really a separate room. It was just sort of a corner of the bar where there was a fireplace and a little bit cozy. They've renovated, and it is an entire room now. It is as big as, if not bigger than, the rest of the bar. And there is a central fire pit with a chimney type thing coming out of the ceiling, sort of hovering over it. And all around it are rocking chairs. Very comfortable looking ones. They're nicely padded.
Nice.
With little tables on each side so that you've got room for your drink, but also your knitting. And along the back wall, they've set up shelves where they're now displaying all of the good stuff, the yak and the kiviot and the things that the rest of you brought back and shared with the group. So they've got a bunch of fancy yarns to choose from, and there's even a spinning wheel in the corner and a bunch of fiber ready for whoever wants to work on that. So they definitely have this new space set up. We could probably clear out about half this room, move the chairs and whatnot over, and let you have a space to spread out and combat.
Yeah. I think if we just push everything to the side, that should be fine. I don't anticipate a lot of lunging.
Oh gosh, my knee hurts
right off the
just
bat.
thinking of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I like this idea, Owen. I think this is an excellent plan. Would you be charging for this class, or just it's going to be a fun thing?
I think I will think of it as community service.
Well, tell you what, if you're going to be serving the community like that, as long as you're doing those classes, I'll comp your membership here at the club.
All right, I'll take that deal.
Unless I get broken, and then everything's off. So
Oh, of course.
don't get too rough on us. We're not all quite as young as you.
Uh,
All right. So you have now set up this Combat for Seniors class, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And you do your part to help with getting the golden frog back on its feet. There's a lot of construction that you mostly avoid, just to keep from causing more damage than help. You do take the opportunity to go visit Herder, and he's doing great. Of course, you visit with the kobolds a little bit more than you had a chance to over at the bar at the Golden Frog, and it's probably another not quite a month before the Golden Frog is fully finished and refurbished, and all the windows have been replaced, and you find yourself there early one morning after you've had your quiet time with your oatmeal alone. You join the knitting group for coffee and knitting, of course. And so you're in the knitting room, sitting near the fire with several of the folks that you remember from before you went on all your adventures. Rockin and Sarlin and Harnor, the half-elves. You recall that Sarlin was the one who was really there for the knitting, and Harnor was there for his husband. And as Sarlin is working on this very intricate-looking cabled thing that you think is going to be a sweater, but you're not 100% sure because it's still just a single piece, Harnor leans over. Well there, Owen. I hear you're going to be starting up something for us?
Yes, Wednesday nights, 6 p.m., combat for seniors.
Well.
Weaponry provided.
Oh. Have you already got all that weaponry that you need? Are you still looking for...
If you have something you're willing to donate, I will gladly take it.
Well?
But we're mostly using my own collection.
I'll tell you, Sarlin here, he got hooked on that bulky knitting for a while with the big old needles, and you know, those were real hard to find, and so I spent some time learning how to make them. And so I've got a whole bunch of prototypes that, honestly, I think if I just add a hilt, probably function well. They'd be a good sword for maybe the halflings or the dwarves.
Would they function as a gladius or dagger for us
taller folk?
Medium-sized folk?
Yeah, I think they might. And, you know, if they're a little bit long, it's pretty easy to make them a little bit shorter. So.
You can always take more off.
Fantastic. I will, you know, how about, after we're done our little knit and clatch here, you come on over to our place. I'll show you the workshop, and you can pick out the knit needles you want me to convert. And
that sounds excellent. I appreciate
excellent
your generosity.
Well, honestly, I'm looking forward to hitting this man. He's you know, ever since he brought back that Kiviot, he just can't shut up about it, and it's fantastic. It's real soft, but there's other things to talk about, you know?
I'm well aware of how it is when a man in your life will not shut up.
All right.
And Owen kind of looks wistfully into the fire and goes back to his knitting.
Lovely. Oh. I think Owen does get to have a bit of a happily ever after here. At least for now. Enjoying the rest of his retirement at Pennycross, teaching seniors how to fight and defend themselves. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, that feels like a good non-cliffhangery ending to me.
All right. Well, that is where we will leave Owen. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Bye.
Bye.